Everybody has stress. I mean, even if you're like, I got to get out of here, you go to the mountains. If I go to the mountains, live off the land, I'm going to be stress free. No matter where you live, there's stress. So it's how you deal with it and things you can do to keep your body from being stressed out.
So hi everybody, welcome in. I know we have two people here in the chat. So as you guys can see in front of us, we are going to be talking about stress reduction for 2023, specifically how to improve your own stress or how to just manage it. And the cool thing is Dr. Todd put together an amazing masterclass, not only for us business owners, chiropractors, to work on our stress, but you will see towards the end or around in the middle that we will be touching on how to help your patients as well within your practice, and then maybe even potentially creating another stream of revenue just off of stress reducing alone. So Dr. Singleton, you have the floor whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Angie. All right, so this week, stress reduction for 2023. Again, like Angie said, for you, for your employees, or your patients, that everybody has stress. I mean, even if you're like, I got to get out of here, you go to the mountains. If I go to the mountains, live off the land, I'm going to be stress free. Are you? What if there are no deer or elk to shoot? I mean, what if, it's like, no matter where you live, there's stress. So it's how you deal with it and things you can do to keep your body from being stressed out.
100%.
So there's a holistic approach to stress reduction. So in the fast-paced world of the 21st century, most of us live stressful, busy lives. With all the new technology, I don't even know how we did it in the past, with no cell phones growing up, that was different stress, so no matter advances in technology, it's just, to me, it's just going to bring in more stress. More technology equals more stress, as far as I'm concerned. We just need to now know how to go through it better. Millions. So, and I know you can do this because you can power through busy work week using a combination of caffeine, sheer willpower, and the occasional use of pharmaceutical stimulants. The interesting thing about caffeine is so many of my patients are like, I can't even start the day without my cup of coffee. And the problem is the caffeine actually is a stimulant, and caffeine can actually cause your body to go into muscle spasms and have muscle tension. So even, patients coming to see you, you're always adjusting them, and they're never getting well because you haven't fixed their gut and they're on this caffeine kick. And here's another thing. The coffee bean is the number one sprayed with pesticide, insecticide, herbicides, because it's expensive. I mean, there's a lot of money in the coffee bean. So then you get that, they grind it up. So you're basically ingesting liquid, toxins in your body that's destroying the gut, the microbiome. And then eventually you're going to have to be living off of caffeine because your body can't absorb and digest food. And you're just kind of this vicious circle going down. So sheer willpower will help you for a while, but then it doesn't. And of course, drugs, that's just temporary too. On top of that, many people have to deal with additional stressors like children, school, troubled finances, especially over the last few years going through this COVID crap. Now, with all this going around us, we're all stressed out, overworked, and the consequences may be more serious than you think, because emotions and things that we deal with can actually cause disease. There are frequencies and energy pathways to certain emotions out there, from stress to, feeling guilty or, envy or jealous or whatever. And that can lead to diseases in our bodies. The fact of the matter is that continual stress can reduce your thyroid's function, reduce your body's ability to fight off illness, causing stomach ulcers, increased blood pressure, weight gain. All these things can contribute to chronic and unhealthy conditions. Now listen to your gut or your brain. You're there at a party, maybe it was a New Year's Eve party or something, and there's pizza over here, and somebody brought some veggie sticks and some fruit, you're kind of going, all right, it's the end of the year. Next year, Monday, I'm going to start on a program. So you eat the pizza, right? Again, like half a pizza. And how you going to feel? You're like, oh man, why did I do that? Because the poor choices you make can negatively impact your health because we don't really know. We know, but we don't know until we eat that and we do that. And then there's the consequences afterward. So, like when you're stressed, you might find yourself drinking too much caffeine, eating the wrong foods, mindlessly munching on snacks, especially when you're watching Netflix or watching TV, mindlessly munching on snacks or putting off meals until late in the evening. If you go to a movie, you always get the popcorn, you have like some peanut M&Ms or chocolate covered raisins, and you take a handful of this and a handful of popcorn, and you're just sitting there watching a movie while you're just stuffing your face and you don't even think about it. And the next thing you know, you're running out of the big barrel of popcorn. But guess what? There's a free refill. So now your goal is to find somebody in your party that will go down and get the refill. Now you also find it's harder to make it to the gym. This morning I was at the gym. I recognized a bunch of people that I haven't seen ever. And of course they're big and I'm thinking, okay, this guy's new, this lady's new. They have some New Year's resolution but they're doing the wrong stuff. And I want to go talk to them. I'm like, dude, this big guy, he's like, I don't know, 400 pounds. He's doing elliptical really hard and heavy. And so that guy that I saw today, he's going to be there for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, see no results. And he's like, hell with this. And guess what? But he still pays the membership fee every month because there's always Monday. So what are some of the harmful effects of stress? Weight loss, gain. Stress can make someone overeat, just like we talked about, to cause depression. And that can lead to unhealthy weight loss. Sleep and energy changes. Stress tends to impact energy, motivation. You got to get at least 7-8 hours. If you get less than 6 hours, you won't lose weight. And that'll also affect your body negatively. Social problems. High stress affects the way we interact with each other. I mean, kids are mean these days. There's a lot of things that can happen on social media that kids attack each other. Bullying is a big thing, no matter where you go to school, no matter where, if it's a charter school, private school, public school, it's a thing. So that's what we got to really talk to our kids and talk to how important it is to realize what can happen and how to deal with that. Stress in the body, it can also feel as if stress affects only your mental, but the physical too. It can affect the central nervous system and your endocrine, your hormones, respiratory, because when you're stressed, you breathe less, you don't breathe deep, and that affects your O2 and your CO2 exchange ratio. And that'll in turn affect your cardiovascular, your whole. And people can have high blood pressure from stress and digestion. To me, that's one of the worst things is digestion stress, because when you're stressed, a lot of people can feel their body cramping. And also, when you're stressed, the body stays in sympathetic mode. We got parasympathetic and sympathetic. So kids that are autistic are mostly sympathetic. Go, 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 go. And their gut is so jacked and they're not healthy and they're just doing all these things. So when you're stressed out, it's like you're an adult with autism, because your body, the sympathetic has to go down. So the parasympathetic can go up. And that's when the parasympathetic goes, that's when we can digest and assimilate, the body can rest and relax. So that's why we need to have the balance there. Muscular system, with stress, we're always tight. And of course, that can affect sexuality, reproductive. Years ago, I used to help women get pregnant because they not only were they stressed, but they were unhealthy. See, if a woman's unhealthy, they're not going to conceive because they probably aren't going to carry the child. They're going to have a miscarriage. And they got to deliver the child, they got to nurse the child, and raise the child. But if the body's not healthy enough to do that, they don't get pregnant. So then they go and they do these in vitro and they force pregnancy. No. So we help the patients get healthy on programs, and then they conceived and they had great pregnancies, deliveries. I mean, APGAR scores 10s. It's really kind of cool. And also it affects your immune system. Stress affects your immune, because stress will affect your gut, and that's where our immune system is built in our microbiome. To lower stress levels, you'll need to eat the most nutritionally dense food possible. This means plenty of leafy greens, bright colored vegetables, basically plant-based foods, because plant-based foods are less inflammatory and they can actually help decrease stress. Because remember, 90% of your energy throughout the day is in what? Doing what? Digesting food. And so if your body can handle the digesting of this food, it's going to be great. But what if it takes like 93, 95% more energy to digest food that's not plant-based. It's not healthy. You're going to be more tired. Hence comes the caffeine, whether it's coffee, diet sodas, all that. So you need to take some time for leisure activities. And the way you think and talk to yourself really matters. So take a walk, go walk the dog, if that's something you like to do. Every city has a park, or every city has a walkway where you can go out and take your dog. Just take those baggies to pick up his droppings, don't leave them around. And of course, I talk to myself sometimes because I need expert advice. Self-talk, we can actually talk ourselves into something or talk ourselves out of something. Because remember, if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. And you are where you are today in your life and your stress because of how you think. Your thinking got you to where you are today. So if you want to be somewhere different, you need to start thinking different. Okay. This guy was amazing. Mindful meditation is the first step to managing stress. This guy named Victor Frankl. He was in the Holocaust, and he watched his family get killed and raped and just all sorts of things. And he was able to go through that and mentally handle that, mentally come out of that and help a lot of people. I like his quotes here. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. So if they can't find a deep self of why, their why, then they distract themselves with pleasure, alcohol, drinking, eating fast foods. Doing things that they're going to give them that psychological hit temporarily, because when you do things like that are habit forming with pleasure, it gives you pleasure like for this much time, and then that goes away. Then you do it again, and you get nowhere. Okay, so that's what we need to do, some reflection. How about this? Exercise, yoga, regular workout. Exercise is good for the body and can also help keep stress levels down. But I don't have time to exercise. We'll start going just 3 times a week. If you can't do 3, 2, then get up earlier. Get up early. If you start to get up earlier, oh my gosh, it's like a whole new life is there. But some people sleep until 8 o'clock. We'll get up at 7. If you can't get up at, get up at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. If you look at the successful, from Arnold Schwarzenegger to The Rock to Stallone, all these people go to the gym and they get up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, but they can do that because they're multi-billionaire or millionaires, But guess what? It doesn't matter how much money you have. It's what's up in here. So if you can do this, do the next thing. Remember, your comfort zone's like this. So get out of your comfort zone and expand that comfort zone, and your whole world will change. Imagery, time management. If you're more managed time, like if you're managed out, you'll actually get more done. And that'll decrease your stress too. Tuning into music from days gone by. Just the other day, I was listening to some of the top songs of the 1976. I was just kind of chilling at nighttime and I was just listening. I thought, this is really cool. It's just very relaxing, because we know music helps us to relax. And then reading books. Some people like to read books. And so just things, even if it's 5 to 10 minutes, it'll help to decrease the cortisol levels in your body, which decreases blood sugar, which decreases insulin, which is a fat-making hormone. Aromatherapy. We have this in the office, diffuser. With some essential oils that you can have around the office, from lavender, to there's a lot of different oils you can use. Self-care, some people write in their diary, some people binge on Netflix. And so all these things can help to decrease stress. Fortunately, reducing stress levels can make it much easier to choose to be healthy. In our office, we actually offer nutritional programs and supplements designed to make this transition as easy as possible. We can help reduce your stress levels and improve your health at the same time. This is all laid out in our stress reduction program, and people love this. In our program manual, you'll also want to follow nutritional guidelines, because we teach them how to eat better, to de-stress their body, physically decrease the inflammation in their body. And there are a few tips that we can dramatically lower your stress. So here we have a couple. So don't skip meals. Keep your blood sugar levels balanced to maintain a constant supply of energy. It's important to eat, 2 to 3 times a day. If you want to do intermittent fasting, start your window at like noon and end at 6, or from 2 to 6. So those are the kind of things that can really help, but don't eat, don't just think, well, if I skip I'll lose weight or I won't be as stressed. No, when you skip meals to get more work done, like I don't have time. We have these meal replacement shakes that we make to has the pre and probiotics and the vitamins and protein that you can drink that just takes under 10 seconds, right? When you skip meals to think you're getting more done, your body's demanding more while giving it fewer resources to succeed. It'll even make it more difficult for you to accomplish what you're trying to do. You can see down there low blood sugar, hunger, altered metabolism, and that can lead to diabetes even. Caffeine maybe can give you a temporary boost in energy to accomplish a project. Well, so can Adderall, but it comes at a hidden cost. So many people are on this monster Red Bull, and then eating before bed. It's also a potential recipe for poor night's sleep. So you want to basically eat. If you want to go to bed at 10 o'clock, stop eating at 6 o'clock. 4 hour. You want to do like a 4 hours before you go to bed. Okay. Now, we also have some supplements to help patients because a lot of them need a little bit of a push. So we have these whole food nutrients that we kind of use to help them. The first is this herbal stress relief. I'll have a website you can look at, but this, oh my gosh, this is like, I've had so many patients who are on anxiety medication, depression medication for years, and we're able to help get them off of this stuff. And this is one of the things, this herbal stress relief, it's a natural. This is something that really is helpful to relax and during the day and even at nighttime to help you sleep better. Serotonin support, this is supposed to be made in your gut, but if your microbiome's jacked, it's not working right, there's not going to be a lot of serotonin, which is your happy hormone. Because a lot of this has good vitamins and minerals and the 5-HTP to help in giving you that happiness, without having to eat the cake, eating the sweets and the chocolate and drinking whatever you want to drink other than water. We also have sleep that is actually melatonin. It's a melatonin. The melatonin is really helpful. I take this about, an hour before bed. It really, really also helps to get restful sleep because, think about it, 1/3 of our lives is sleeping. If you don't sleep really well, you're going to age prematurely. And then you need to have good base of vitamins and multiminerals. The thing about Solutions for Multivitamin Multimineral is it's chelated. So when things are chelated, people can go get chelated IV drips and get those nutrients in the bloodstream right now. Well, this is already chelated, so it can pass through the gut, the brush border, and get into the bloodstream really quickly. These are just a few things we have. So these are just some ways to reduce, stress reduction and, give in your office. We also have classes. So if you want more information on how to hold classes and how to get your patients to see the postings, we can show you how to do that. Also, the doctor needs to be stress-free to help their patients. So start now with some of what was reviewed today. Doctors should do it because, we can make this year better with you, a better year. And so start with the doctor. So the doctor's stressed, it's not going to work. And then Singleton Systems is my website that I help other doctors across the country, talks about what we do. And then Dr. Todd Singleton is my website locally to show people locally because I market with Proactive. And so we send patients to this website to see my weight loss, neuropathy, pain management, and my ultra contour machine for inch loss as well. And then solutions4.com to set up your free account. And there's my number there, 801-903-7141. If you want any help with marketing, with Proactive, what I do with marketing with them, and how to add maybe more cash programs to your practice this year. And if you are doing decompression, neuropathy, diabetes, weight loss, pain management, we've advertised and used Proactive with all that. And I can help you with what we do to how to get the leads in. So anyway, that's my program today. And again, if you have any questions, if you need help, that's my number, text me. And thanks for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Singleton. That was awesome. Yeah, guys, essentially to heal stress, if you guys watch the masterclass, a lot of it is within your diet as well. And so that's kind of the point that we were trying to make. in terms of offering some kind of treatment plan to reduce stress. And then obviously, like, you can always add other modalities aside from a nutrition program set up for them. Something like, and Dr. Singleton, you can vouch for me or not, just, like practices that they can do at home, give them an activity list, give them exercising that they can do at home, stretches that they do in the morning. Just help your patients create the routine to create, more of a manageable, stress-free lifestyle. You'd be surprised, how many patients are going through it and struggle with it. And if there isn't an ask that's happening, then, like, we're never really going to know that's what they're dealing with. And so, like, Dr. Singleton, I kind of wanted to ask you, are you like straightforwardly asking them, hey, like, are you going through some stress right now and you want help with that? Or is it kind of something that you do where you converse with them, probe with them, and then you're like, okay, I have something for you to help with X, Y, and Z?
Good question. Yes and no, but how I actually ask them is we have a form that I developed that goes through and asks some questions. And according to how they answer those questions, you can tell if that person does things because they're stressed. If they're live, because between their job, we find out what their job is and different questions as they go through. And then we come down to the fact that they're stressed. But I also have a thing that we have the patients fill out called the symptom assessment I developed. And we actually can see the adrenal stress from the symptom assessment and pre-diabetes or diabetes, their diet and their thyroid function. So from that, we can see from how they answer questions if they're stressed or not without even having to ask them. And then we talk about it because, that can affect you how you're going to lose weight.
Yeah, and like Dr. Singleton said, like, everybody's dealing with their own version of stress. Even if you moved out to the mountains and it was away from the city, there's still stress that involves in everybody's life. And I think it's even like more prominent when you deal with an age group that's a little bit older because, like, there's more responsibilities, the jobs are a little bit more strenuous, all that stuff. So this might be an avenue that you might be interested to add, kind of like a different approach if anybody's interested. There's a bunch of resources here to learn a little bit more. You can always contact Dr. Singleton directly or contact our team if there's any support needed there. And then, like, one kind of last question out of curiosity, Dr. Singleton, how do you kind of like help minimize the stress within your practice? Because I'm sure you care for your associates as well. So are there anything that you do to minimize that for them too, aside from like aromatherapy within the practice?
Yeah. We actually every month the staff gets a certain amount of products. So we give staff products from our shakes for the herbal stress relief. So they get to stay on and use the Solutions 4 products that helps them with their stress. In fact, that's why a lot of patients or staff members stay with me for a long time because they love how they feel. They love the program and they love to get the free stuff that I give them, as far as your staff, because you can't do without your staff.
Right.
I just love how they feel and they listen to my coaching and they drink the Kool-Aid. They understand it and they feel great. And they pass that on to the other patients because you cannot have staff working for you that bring in their Diet Coke and they just stop at McDonald's on the way. I mean, you can if you want, but you want to educate your staff because the better your staff feels, the better they eat, the better they're going to be for you and the better they're for your patients. Because if they don't have the energy, if they're stressed out, that's going to show.
Right. Yeah. And then I think it's also just practicing what you guys preach, right? And so they're kind of just like walking testimonies for the services that you offer and the few supplements that you kind of showed us earlier. And so if this was just out of curiosity for anybody who's trying to create a culture in their practice where, they create loyal associates who can also just speak from a position of experience. In this case, given that they're experiencing directly what other patients experience, it's a lot easier for them to do that persuasion part of things, or, just to help a patient out from a place that comes genuine. So again, if there's anything that we can help you guys out with, it's not too late to drop any questions or comments down below. And then you can also reach out directly to me, anybody on my team, and Dr. Singleton here. We are more than happy to help. Dr. Singleton, as always, thank you so much for the amazing presentation, and we will see everybody next week.